The importance of microalgae in the fight against climate change. Worldwide, the increasing anthropogenic greenhouse gas emissions, including carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide, have led to significant climate change. There is overwhelming evidence that climate change has not only direct effects on the climatic system, but also a discernible influence on physical and biological systems, with resulting impacts on local livelihoods and cultures. Climate change drives unpredictable weather fluctuations, including increased frequency and duration of floods and droughts.
Sydney is in the grip of a third major flooding event this year.
If you thought the drought couldn't get any worse, think again. It just did. 2/3 of Queensland is now affected.
This challenges sufficient agricultural production and food supplies globally, which are vital to every country's economy and overall productivity. Additionally, climate change and human impacts have exacerbated the loss of biodiversity in every ecosystem due to the modifications in optimal temperature ranges, rainfall, area of sea ice, land clearing, and habitat destruction. By 2100, global temperatures are estimated to rise by 4 degrees Celsius. These higher temperatures are likely to be accompanied by more humidity, wetter conditions, and geographical and seasonal precipitation changes. It also increases the likelihood of specific waterborne, food, and vector-borne diseases, which can be displayed with the ongoing monstrosity of the coronavirus pandemic. Over the past centuries, one of the most rapid global changes caused by human activities such as burning fossil fuels has been the continuing increase in carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere, which has been the highest for millions of years. Australia is one of many global regions experiencing significant climate change. Increasing carbon dioxide concentrations contributes to the Earth's temperature increase. Temperature is an environmental parameter that affects the metabolism, growth, reproduction, survival, and the interactions among species. Increasing sea temperatures are associated with increasing frequency and severity of coral bleaching on the Great Barrier Reef. This can further exacerbate coral bleaching events and can negatively affect the biodiversity of marine animals. At the present rate of rising carbon dioxide concentrations in the atmosphere, the toxic limit will be attained in 2050, which is in 28 years. Toxic carbon dioxide levels can lead to restlessness, mild hypertension, confusion, fetal abnormalities, impaired ability to make decisions, increased heart rate, and neurotoxicity in humans. This current outlook does not seem very optimistic, yet microalgae can help mitigate the increase in carbon dioxide concentrations in the atmosphere. Now, that is great, but what is microalgae? Microalgae are a diverse polyphyletic group of unicellular, colonal, and filamentous eukaryotes and cyanobacteria, which carry chlorophyll and are capable of oxygenetic photosynthesis. They are important primary producers and carbon sinks. There is growing recognition that microalgae are among the most productive biological systems for generating biomass and capturing carbon. The scale of microalgal production necessary to capture sufficient carbon dioxide emissions from stationary sources, such as power stations, is manageable and feasible. This is highly advantageous considering the detrimental effects caused by increased carbon dioxide emissions. So, microalgae can potentially be exploited for carbon dioxide capture and sequestration, which can assist in mitigating carbon dioxide emissions in the atmosphere. Currently, more than 80% of the energy produced globally each year is generated through the combustion of fossil fuels. Direct carbon combustion for energy production generates more than 24 gigatons of carbon dioxide annually. The most environmentally sustainable way to reduce greenhouse gas emissions associated with energy production is to generate energy from carbon neutral or reduced carbon emission sources. Biofuel energy is being developed as a more sustainable alternative energy source when compared to the combustion of fossil fuels. Biofuels are derived from the biomass of living organisms such as microalgae, plants, and bacteria. Recently, there has been substantial interest and investment in developing microalgae to produce biofuels. Advantages of microalgae-based biofuels are greater production yields and available land area compared with terrestrial crops. Microalgae's ability to capture carbon dioxide as bicarbonate in ponds, which reduces atmospheric carbon dioxide emissions, and reduce competition for land, mainly arable land used for food production. Algae are estimated to produce 2 to 10-fold more biomass per unit of land than the best terrestrial systems. There are several reasons for the greater biomass yields of algae versus land plants. Generally, algae have higher photosynthetic efficiency than land plants because of their greater abilities to capture light and convert it into usable chemical energy. Also, unlike plants, unicellular algae do not have to partition large amounts of biomass into supportive structures such as stems and roots that are energetically expensive to produce and often difficult to harvest and process for biofuel production. With algae, all biomasses can be harvested at any time of the year, rather than seasonally. Many unicellular algae are facultatively capable of producing neutral lipids, making them one of the most efficient biofuel production systems known. Significantly, algal biofuel production systems can be tightly controlled and optimized. Temperature, pH, nutrient and carbon dioxide concentrations can be monitored and optimized for maximum biomass and oil yields. Additionally, microalgae can enhance the natural value of food and animal feed, play a crucial role in aquaculture, and can be incorporated into cosmetics. In particular, algal components have the characteristics to be a natural supplement in human and animal feed to replace synthetic components or meet the ever-increasing demands of these ingredients due to the rapid population growth. Microalgae can be the next alternative source for animal and aquatic feed production in an environmentally sustainable and economically advantageous manner. Microalgae are more nutritious than traditional animal and aquatic feed sources, like millet, grams, and other small fishes. It has also been determined that the consumption of microalgal biomass in ruminants such as cows can reduce methane production. This can assist in decreasing methane emissions caused by the agricultural industry, where livestock contributes to approximately 50% of total annual emissions in Australia. Unfortunately, algal biomass production is more expensive than fossil fuel-based energy production. To conclude, these advancements, coupled with more efficient algal harvesting and oil extraction technologies, a co-production of income-generating commodities, and residual biomass for annual feeds, will collectively reduce the cost of microalgal oil production and potentially bring algal biofuel economics to parity with petroleum. Microalgae can provide an environmental sustainable pathway to generate energy and biomass for agriculture, which can minimize greenhouse gas emissions, including carbon dioxide and methane. The future can be brighter with microalgae.